To the channel Out of Ammo, Out of Time. I'm your host, as always, CrabbyTerror8, and today we have something very special. I'm joined by LaRoix. Hi, LaRoix.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yes, I'm good, mate. I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Pretty well. I've been a little sick, but I think I'm starting to recover a bit, so I might be a little bit tired. If I forget a rule or something, you'll have to pardon me.
No worries. I'm actually terrible at details when it comes to playing this game, as people tell me in the investigator games all the time. So between the two of us, we should mess this up royally, but that's great. So yes, now this isn't the investigator game, so I'm not going to go through what the investigator games is. This is, of course, part 3 of a series on the influencer class, which I very provocatively called "What FFG Got Wrong About the Class System." Now, and that, yes, and this, I'm very excited about this because now, for those of you who are new to this series. This is about introducing and thinking about a class that wasn't part of, or isn't part of, Arkham Horror, the card game. Now, if you are joining and looking at this video and you haven't seen the previous ones, you really need to watch those first, because in the first one, I talk about the opportunity for there to be this class. In the second one, LaRoix amazingly put together incredible set of cards and rules around the investigator class, and we discussed together the details around that. And then this is part 3, where LaRoix and I are going to have a spin through the gathering and see how this class actually works in practice rather than in theory. So we'll see how that works. And LaRoix here has Charlie Kane to take us through the gathering with Roland. Roland will be playing very much backup here, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm very excited. How about you, LaRoix?
Yeah, same. It'll be really curious to see how this class performs in multiplayer, because I've only done the practicing in solo, so I'm really excited to see how that turns out. I also did want to leave a big shout out for Hawk, I believe is how his username is pronounced. He helped create this just really gorgeous art graphics for the influencer class. So he went through them all. He made them all look really nice. He tracked down all the art illustrators and put that on the cards. So they really just came out beautifully. So big thank you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So it's been quite it has been a team effort. I feel like I've played that card, "I'll let you handle this," because I haven't done anything at all, really. I just sort of set the fire going, and it's been raging ever since. LaRoix, you've definitely been throwing lots of fuel onto the flames in terms of inspiration. It's absolutely incredible.
Well,
so
I did the same with...
I do thank you for that. I'll just say I absolutely thank you for that, and Hawk as well. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
I believe so. Yeah, I mean, I did kind of the same that you did. I was like, sure, if you want to make the cards, and then he like drafted them all up like in lightning speed, and I was like, so I don't know what magic you're using, but it's really good, and I'm very impressed.
Yeah, really incredible. So, and then we will have a part 4, of course, where we go through something a bit more challenging, the Midnight Masks.
Yeah.
That will be quite a thing. But that is for another time. So I'm thinking, LaRoix, maybe, I know we don't want to go through all of the cards, but it might be worthwhile you just going through Charlie Kane's, key stats and abilities, just to sort of kick things off. What do you think?
That's a good idea. Would you like me to do that?
Yeah, that would be, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I guess I'll do it sort of semi like how Investigator Games does, where you sort of run through the character real quick.
Yes.
So he has this is Charlie Kane, the politician. He's a patron and a warden. He's got 3 willpower, 3 intellect, 5 charm, and 2 agility. And his ability is you begin the game with 10 additional resources, and he has a reaction after you charm an enemy. You add 1 resource from the token pool to that enemy as leverage. And leverage is what we use to kind of maintain our leverage over the enemies that we can influence. His Elder Sign is a +1, and he can gain a resource. He's 8 health and 6 sanity, so he's overall pretty... I think he plays nicely. He's a very smooth ride. The one caveat is that low sanity. It is a bit higher than, say, Roland over there, his companion, but it does come up a lot because your followers can't absorb horror for you. They can take damage, so that is sometimes a bit tricky to navigate with Charlie.
Yes. And can I ask, and this might get too much into the detail around how the influencer class works, but he's obviously got low strength and low agility.
Yes.
Which means that you were saying, solo play. So in solo play, would that make him quite challenging then? Because obviously if you can't fight or evade enemies particularly well, and you're not using spells, that might make him quite challenging in some ways. Is that right, as a solo investigator?
Yeah, it does. Like, basically, you want to find an enemy that you can maintain leverage over, someone who can really help you manage things. And sometimes, like, it kind of, like, because the classes, or especially Charlie in particular, is really dependent on what the encounter deck is doing. So when it throws him an enemy that, can't, is pretty low threat, like someone like, well, he couldn't influence rats, but if he could, that would be pretty useless to him. He wouldn't get a big boost out of that. And so sometimes you get this like follower, like a ghoul minion, and then someone else spawns who's a lot more dangerous, and you're kind of like, well, do I try to take him on with my petty friend here, or do I maybe ditch the friend and convince this guy to help fight him instead? And then you turn the tables around. So you're kind of dependent on who you can get. The nice thing with Charlie is he's got that huge pool of resources to start with.
Yes.
So if he has to, and it's like, I hope you don't really want this outcome to happen, but if you have to just be paying your followers to keep them around, then it's much better to do that than to have them beat on you.
Yeah, which makes him a little bit like Preston in that sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Preston tends to spend his way out of situations, so...
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
And he has access to a few of Preston's cards, actually. Should I go over the back real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got a pretty standard deck size of 30. He can take influencer cards of level 0 to 5, neutral cards 0 to 5, and he can take favor and connection cards level 0. So a lot of those are kind of like the Preston big money cards.
Yeah.
And then he can take up to 5 other level 0 cards from any class, like the Dunwich Investigators. But for this, we're just going to play with the starter deck that I threw together for him, so that way he's like ready to go, like if you were to print it, which I believe Hawk actually did, and then sent some pictures because he was pretty excited, which was cool. They looked really nice. But yeah, so if you wanted to like print it out, then you'd just be ready to go with that deck.
Okay, the other thing I suppose is that right at this moment, LaRoix, people will be clamoring for this deck. Where can they get it? Is there a way that people can get the deck, or is there some way people can access it, or how might they go about doing that if they wanted to, or can't they? I'm just wondering.
No. Yeah, I think it's pretty much at the place where it would be good to have people play test it. I think I would prefer people maybe to hold off on the printing and just play digitally.
Yep.
Just so that way we can get some testing. I would really appreciate some feedback if there's some people who are like, oh yeah, I'd be happy to take him through a campaign or with a group or something like that. I mean, you can print if you want. I imagine that there's a couple of cards, if not, more than a handful, that might need some revisions. There's like a number of ones that I was like, I'm in debative. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure, but without like that contrast of like solo versus big group play, it's hard to tell. And then at this point, there's a lot of campaigns, and he hasn't gone through all of them yet, so it's kind of like, Yeah, it would be good, I think, to cover up those blind spots to get some other testers in, if anybody who's interested. So I would just say, I guess contact me if you're interested in testing. I should probably create some kind of thread or like post it somewhere so people can just access it freely. I imagine I'll do that on Discord, maybe in the league, or possibly Mythos Busters. I'm not sure who would be like, hey, don't share that here or something. But I have to ask around maybe with the administrators for some of those Discord groups and see who's comfortable with me doing that.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously people can post on this video in YouTube if they're interested. Is there a email address or something they can contact you through, or? I
think I'd probably quicker respond on Discord, which would just be LaRoix at 2944.
Yeah, right.
I believe is my tag number. You'll see a picture of Roy from Fire Emblem holding a LaCroix. It's dumb, but yeah.
Well, we'll put a link in the show notes. People will be able to. So if you are interested in doing some playtesting and contacting LaRoix, there'll be some information about that in the show notes that go with this video.
Sounds good.
Great. Okay. Well, I think we're kind of ready to go. We're all set up here in Octagon. Now, LaRoix and I had a chat to Charlie, didn't we? Before it's a bit like the Investigator games. We did have a chat to him about doing the Gathering. It was an interesting discussion with him, I thought. LaRoix, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought so too. So I guess he's been talking with FFG about getting into the game officially, but he was really fascinated by this whole influencer idea. He was actually quite enthusiastic, in fact, to be a part of this, but he didn't seem interested in going alone.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things. He's very influential in the sense that he donated $20 million to the Investigator games.
Oh, was that how much? Whoa.
Yes, it was an incredible amount. So we now have the Charlie Kane training gym and firing range, brand shiny new, which we didn't have before, which was brilliant. And one of the stadiums around, you can see it's now called the Charlie Kane Memorial Stadium. So that was part of it. But Charlie really wanted to go through the Gathering and the Midnight Masks, but he demanded that he have a bodyguard with him at all time, and he thought that that Roland was the best person to accompany him through. Now, Roland was not particularly interested originally, but then I don't know, something happened. I remember he was logging onto his online banking and his eyes widened somewhat, and suddenly he changed his mind and was quite happy to accompany Charlie through the Gathering. So clearly he was given some kind of a bonus that I'm not aware of to actually do this. So.
Well, that's very kind of Roland to step up to the plate.
So we will see how they go. So maybe I'll read through the agenda and act deck, and then I guess we'll wait for the horn to go, and then they can start.
Yeah, sounds good.
Start. So I don't think there's anything else for us to cover from a background perspective. I think that's pretty good. We're set up, like I said. I've put all the cards out. Of course, those of you, spoilers, if you've never played The Gathering, I just assume everybody has, but if you haven't, please go and play it somewhere else, because we're assuming you know The Gathering. So if this is literally the first day you've ever seen Arkham the Living Card Game, and you happen to have stumbled upon this video, I would please encourage you to go and learn how to play and play in real life first, because we're going to assume that the people watching this really, really know this scenario well. So, Agenda 1A, what's going on? It's late at night, and Roland and Charlie are holed up in the study researching the bloody disappearances that have been taking place in the region. A few hours into the research, they hear the sound of strange chanting coming from down the parlour, down the hall. Was it that Gregorian chant group that Charlie paid for his birthday? I don't think so. At the same time, you hear dirt churning, as if the gardeners are working at midnight. No, as if something were digging beneath the floor. And trapped As you slowly get up and light a cigar to investigate, the door to your study vanishes before your eyes, leaving behind only solid wall. You're trapped inside your study until you can find another way out. And this house looks way too modest for Charlie, I have to say. But anyway, we'll go with it.
Yeah, a bit much.
Yeah. So there we go. And there's the horn. And crowd goes wild. There we go. We've got a crowd in here. I think Charlie probably paid them off to go that wild. And we will see how we go here in the gathering. So, yep. There we are.
All right. So should we load up on actions?
Yeah, and I haven't actually drawn my deck. That would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Draw the 5. 1, 2.
I just did a quick mulligan.
3, 4. Yeah, I'm going to do that because... Oh, I got the machete. I'm not playing taboo here.
Nice.
Just to let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you put in your deck, but I'm kind of like...
Oh, it's a standard. I think on Arkham DB, I can't know the person's name, but they've done these sort of standard decks, which are not the introductory Fantasy Flight Games decks, but they have sort of the basic cards, but a good set of basic cards, if that makes sense, for each investigator. So, yeah. Okay, that's a pretty good start. I will definitely be playing bodyguard here based on what I've got, so that's good. Okay, and I'm going to, I think, as I said, Charlie will be the lead investigator. I'm here just to make sure he doesn't die.
All right. So I guess I will take the first move then, huh?
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a card. And not quite getting the tools that I need. But that's alright. I think I'd like to make a little bit of progress. Let's check. Skulls are -0. Cultist is -1. I think we have a decent shot of just picking up a clue. So I'm going to go ahead and do a basic investigate. Perfect.
Wow.
I'll take that.
There we go. Chaos Bag's being very kind to us.
Yeah, indeed. And I think I'm going to play this city sweep. I don't know how we're sweeping the city. Maybe we're sweeping the house instead.
Right.
But yeah, that will help us. We get an encounter card cancellation. Well, a swap with something different, so that way I can get an enemy.
Okay, so City Sweep as an asset, when you draw a non-elite encounter card, right, discard City Sweep, cancel that card, search the top 12 for a human. Oh, right, so we'll be seeing some ghouls before we know it. Nice, I like it. Brilliant. Wow, that's a unique thing, right? So it's an event, but it's actually played as an asset. There you go. There's some ideas for you, FFG, right there. Brilliant. Okay, well, yes, I will, my first action, I will spend 3, and I will bring out the machete, getting out the big stuff straight away, and, can't really do, so I'm not really an investigatoring type here. So what am I? I've got an intellect of 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get some of these other clues. So second action, let's see what we get. Another 0. Wow. There we go.
Quite generous chaos bag so far.
Very, very generous. Let's see if it's generous again. Skull, yes, I think it is. So that's a 0. All
right.
So that's 3 of the 4 we need. That's a pretty good start, really, isn't it? We're nearly there. We're not going to be left in the study. I think when I first played this game, I can't remember which investigator I was playing, but they had a very low intellect, and I think I spent like 6 turns in the study. I never got anywhere. I just couldn't get the clues. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't remember my first time trying to get out of the study. I do remember like playing it with different friends and family members, and it being wildly different each time. Or sometimes we just breezed through it, but most of the time we were just getting hammered out there. We're like, help, this game's hard.
Yeah. Yes, it's like when I played solo, Undimensional and Unseen solo with a low willpower investigator. That was not pretty.
Yeah, I took Zoe through Dunwich that first time, and the one, what is it, the one afterwards, I think, where Doom awaits, where you have to do the intellect test of 3. I was like, no.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay, we'll get into the enemy phase, or indeed the enema phase, as I call it, and there are no enemies or enemas to speak of. So we'll move into upkeep. Okay, perfect. Very nice. I guess we'll move into the first. And it's been such a long time since I played The Gathering. I'm just like, I'm so used to Midnight Mass. Oh, yeah, we've got about 5 or 6 turns before it's 3. It's only 3 before it flips.
Yeah.
It's not very long.
It's brief.
Yeah. All right.
Looks like I got obscuring fog.
Oh, that's always a killer for. But that's okay, because if we can get a... actually, can't you use your city suite for that one or not?
I can, but I think I'm going to save it. It is a reaction, so I can keep it. I'm mostly trying to peg, like, Rotting Remains or...
Yeah, fair enough.
Frozen in Fear, I think, was the other one I was concerned about.
So we're now running at a 4 Shroud on... so I hope we get a ghoul, because if I can kill the ghoul, then we'll get that other clue.
Yeah, that would be handy.
Okay, and I get... Ah, look at that! Wow. It's like the game... It's like someone paid for Octagon to work perfectly in The Gathering. I can't imagine that, but it feels that way.
A bit strange.
There we go. I got a ghoul minion. Hello. A colossal and nameless blasphemy. Yeah. I always found this picture weird. I thought he was like in the fridge, like raiding the fridge, and then I realised I think he's at a window. I don't think he's raiding a fridge, but
it does look like that because of the way the light comes out of it, and it looks like shelves almost.
Yeah, exactly.
He looks like I can't tell if he's inside or outside. That's the part that's always confused me. Like, is he?
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because there's some stars sort of in the corner.
I would assume maybe that's like a bedroom, or is that just like...
Yeah, maybe it is.
Weird wallpaper on the outside of their house.
Yeah, anyway.
Because like on the left side on the character, it's like wood panels, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, it will remain ambiguous. Okay, so we will move into the investigation phase. 3 actions. Okay. Well, I know what I'll be doing. What are you going to be doing?
I think you want to take the lead if you're just going to
Yes,
plug that goal.
I just realised that strategically that's probably a better way. Yes. Charlie says, I'll let you handle this. And I think that's a good idea. I will handle this. Yeah, so here we go. I'm going to machete the ghoul minion.
As Charlie's going to see how Roland gets the job done first.
Yes. This is just to be clear to everyone, we're not here to see how Roland's deck works. It's sort of working out that way a bit at the moment. So, but here we go. If I can kill this ghoul minion, we'll get this extra clue, and then we'll be out of study. So that'll be good. So here we go. I'm 4/5. So I'm a 5 versus a 2. Oh, well, it should be piece of cake, really. 5 versus a 2. A swing and a miss. There we go. Well, we will try that again. A 5 versus a 2, and we get a -2. That's better. Okay. And the ghoul minion dies. And we get that other clue. That's the action. Brilliant.
Perfect. I never liked him anyway, so I would have had to pay just way too much to keep him around.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
So I think we'll just go ahead and spend our clues now, right? No point hanging around in the study now.
I agree.
Yep. Get rid of the good old clues. Study disappears. Bye-bye, study. Donk. Donk. And we miraculously appear in the hallway. There we go. I've got 1 action left.
We gotta flip the act deck, yeah?
Yes, good point. You notice the edges of your newly purchased $1 million rug tattered and mud-stained. Finding this odd, you shift your Chippendale furniture aside and pull back the rug. To surprise, you see a walnut-handled door made of... never mind. Leading out of your study, you slowly turn the knob and the door swings open, revealing your hallway below. You heavily jump through the doorway, landing your feet on soft dirt. The door to your study slams shut above you, knocking you in the forehead in the process. The smell of burning wood fills the narrow hall, intermingled with the scent of rot and decay. Put aside all the various cards we've already done. Enemies in the study. Each investigate the hallway. Remove the study from the game. Okay, and we're now in the barrier. A glowing barrier blocks the path to your parlour. As you move towards it, intense heat forces you to back away. Asking Roland to pick up a handful of dirt, he tosses it at the barrier, and you watch in horror as the dirt incinerates. Maybe Roland can incinerate if you threw him at the back. No, perhaps there's something in the air cellar or the attic that can help. Okay, so we're just going to need 6 clues, and then we can advance from there. Okay, well, I've got 1 action left. I'm going to spend 2, and I'm going to bring out the good old physical training.
Perfect.
And that's me done. There we go. Okay.
All right. Let's see. I could play this card. I'm just reluctant to because it's got kind of a weird effect now that's not super useful. So let me draw 1 more card. And then I think we're going to split up. And I'm going to head down here.
Ah.
If I can take control. There we go. So after I enter the cellar, take a damage. All right.
Yes. So as Charlie rushes down the stairway, not used to so much physical, exercise, he trips on his own feet and goes tumbling down the stairs. Smacks his head. Ouch.
Yep. You're going to have to light a new cigar for that. So then I think 7. I think I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 to play Igor.
Oh, Igor, the loyal butler.
Yep.
Oh, +1 influence, right.
And then I can use him to help pay for those followers that I'm going to require at some point, so.
Yep.
And I think it was that, that was all 3 of my actions, so that's me.
Okay, cool. All right, we will move into the enemy phase. No enemies. So we'll move into upkeep. Whew. Okay. Dynamite blast. Wow. Won't be using that anytime soon. It's an expensive dynamite blast in history. And then, we'll move into the mythos phase. Oh!
Looks like I got some rats. Not to worry. I think I can manage that.
Yep. And what do I get? I get the rotting remains. The rotting remains. Okay. Ooh, that's not good for Roland. Rotting remains are never good. Test 3. 3 versus 3. I can throw in the dynamite. Oh, and I can throw in guts. Look at that. Yeah, so I'm now 6 versus 3, so it should be fine with that. Chaos Bag gives me +1. Wow. So we will... Easy.
Roland's
Easy.
done
There we go.
The gathering just 1 too many times. He's very familiar with it by now.
That's right. Okay. Cool. All right. So we...
Just realized I should have probably canceled these rats. Because now I'm going to have to punch them and I don't have a weapon. I think I could probably do it though. I mean, their fight's super low, right?
If you wanna do that as a sort of a rewind thing, absolutely. Why don't you do that?
Nah. Actually, I got a plan. So
okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 resources. I'm going to go ahead and go, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to play dead fast.
Right.
So after it's damaged placed on my investigator card, I can exhaust play dead to disengage from each enemy engaged with me for the remainder of the round. Enemies cannot engage you until after you fight, engage, or move. Alright, so yeah, I can just take the hit then and go about my business because then I can get them off my shoulders. I'm going to go ahead and I think I will do that too. I'm going to take the hit. And then we'll exhaust it. Getting an attack of opportunity to draw 1 card.
Yep.
And then for second action, we're just going to go ahead and play Public Speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We are a 3. Yeah, I don't know how much I want to burn through my resources. I think I'll take a resource for my final action. I'd like to be up at 10.
Cool. Okay. Very nice. It's kind of amusing that Charlie goes down the cellar by himself. A bunch of rats appear, and he plays dead. I like it.
He just falls down the stairs and then just lays there.
Lays there. That's right, pretending to be dead while these rats run around. Hilarious.
And for some reason, the rats ignore him. I guess if you'd be laying on the ground, they'd probably swarm you, I would think. But instead, they just think you're part of the wall, I guess.
That's right. An eagle's rolling his eyes, oh, here we go. That's great. That's awesome. Well, I'm going to take a trip up to the well, actually, I could come down and kill the rats. Well, I think
that's okay. I'm going to
use
City Sweep next turn to make sure I get a goal to help me out do that.
Oh, okay. So do I need to come and kill the rats?
I mean, if you want to come in here, they will automatically engage you, so you won't have to spend an action to engage, which now looking at it is actually pretty convenient. So yeah, that's up to you, unless you want to head upstairs.
Oh, I'm supposed to be your bodyguard, so I'll probably stick with you.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I get the rats. I'll just take control of them. There we go. So I get the rats. Second action, I'll machete these rats. So we're talking about a 5 versus a 1. We get a -1, so they're dead, which means I get a clue.
Nice.
Third action, I'm going to. What am I going to do? I might draw a card.
Yeah.
Oh no, take a resource. Actually, I'm going to take a resource.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's me. Cool. Okay, so far so good. This is great. This is really really good. There's a kind of a seekerish feel to the influencer class, but it's so much more flexible and interesting.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Weird how to wiggle out of those situations.
I'm
kind of happy with the way Play Dead is performing now. I wasn't really happy with it in testing, but I did some revisions, and now it seems like it fits that niche that it's supposed to. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, if you take a hit, I could just get them off of me now.
Yeah. So no enemies to speak of. So upkeep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Encounter card. Oh, I don't need to use it. I'm going to keep this guy. He's a big boy.
Whoa.
That's what I want.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just before we do that, I'll just realize the phase has flipped, hasn't it? Yeah. So your house continues to change before your very eyes. The walls have decayed and the ground in many rooms has turned to dirt. This will need more than just a little patch-up job, DIY. It's really going to need an overhaul. It's almost as if you've been transported somewhere else entirely, although every now and again you recognise elements of your former home. There's my humidifier and cigar box. Yes. There's my set of silk ties. Yes. The lead investigator must decide either each investigator discards a card at random from his or her hand, or each investigator takes 2 horror. Definitely not the horror.
Yeah, let's just discard a card.
It's random, isn't it? It's a random discard, isn't
it? Should I just keep this for having a school then, or because I mean the agenda flip doesn't adjust the encounter pull. I just pulled it prematurely.
Yeah. Keep the rabbit at school. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're that's engaged with you, right? And so I just draw from the encounter deck, and I get obscuring fog. Oh no! Oh,
So we're looking at a 6.
that's rough. And you can't. Oh, you just got to successfully investigate to get rid of it. But yes, 6. Ooh, boy. But I think you can probably spend your way out of that one. I think.
Yeah, I think I've got a couple of options here. If you're willing to let me go first.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
I can auto do it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to charm this ghoul. He's got a 3. I have 5, 6 with Igor, so I'm 3 up. That should be good enough. Let's just go ahead and test.
So just talk through. Sorry, I know you've just drawn. That's fine. You've drawn the tablet, but just talk through how again the influence versus what. What are you comparing against?
Oh yeah,
here?
sorry. So I'm comparing my influencer stat, which is 5, +1 from Igor. Against his health, his printed health total. So if he had damage on him, that wouldn't affect it. It's just the number that's printed on there. So he was a 3. And I basically just baited him with some meat. And that worked. Unfortunately, he bit me in the process.
Right. What a charmer, Charlie. What a charmer you are. Well, let's face it, the Ravenous Ghoul's no charmer, but that's a great way of dealing with the Ravenous Ghouls because he's a pain in the ass at the best of times.
He is, and no victory points. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. So you've charmed him into playing, sort of being on your side, fighting for you, whatever.
Yeah, he's content with the meats. I also get to trigger my Charlie's reaction ability. After you charm an enemy, you add a resource to them from the token bowl. So he gets 1 leverage, so I won't need to pay to keep him around at the end of the round. Enemies they at some point start to question why they're following you. So as long as you can maintain that leverage over them, then they're content. So that buys me around.
That buys you around, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And then you can use him to fight other things or do other things. Right?
I can. So here's the thing. I could have him help me look for clues now. But
right.
What he would do is add his horror value, which is 1. We would get 2 clues for the investigation because there's 2 of us searching. But yeah, it's not super likely that we would pull that off. So I think what I'm going to do instead is for my second action, I'm going to spend 2 resources to play Fan Out, which is choose and dismiss a follower under your control, then discover 2 clues at your location. So I'm going to have him just do it on his own. I'm going to dismiss him, which puts him back on the board. He loses all his tokens. We'll get 2 clues, and he re-engages me. But
wow.
That's okay, because I got 2 clues out of it.
Wow. Incredible. Okay.
And then I'm just going to try to charm him again for my next action.
Right.
Yeah, we're friends. Remember, we're friends.
Yes. Here's some prime ribeye. Great. That was impressive. That was fantastic. Wow. That was great.
Yeah, it was pretty handy. I had that Fan Out in my hand because without that, the intellect would have just been, or the shroud value way too high.
Yeah.
It is still going to be high for you though, because
yes, exactly.
If you'd like, I could dismiss actually the Ravenous Ghoul, and then you could kill him if you wanted that clue. That's up to you.
Yeah. What do you? What? I mean, there's a couple of ways. One would be to keep him around because we might get more ghouls. And I'm just trying to think.
Like I like his stat buff that he gets me. So if I want him to help me fight, he gives me +3 to that, which is better than the other ghouls.
Yeah,
I don't have my other equipment, so I'm a little content to just pay for him. I don't mind the price.
Yeah. Why don't you keep him around, and I'll I'll see what I can do. Even if we can stay here another turn anyway. We've got plenty of time, so
yeah.
So what I might do is some of 3. It's a 6, isn't it? So 3 down.
6,
yeah, I'm just going to draw a card. Draw another card. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of Yeah, I'm going to do this, which I wouldn't normally do this, but what the hell? Let's try it. So I'm going to I'm going to commit these cards to give me +3. So I'm a 6 on a 6.
Gotcha.
Because the skulls are 0, so we'll see how we go.
I got a 0. I can give you.
Ah, cool. Ah, brilliant. Okay, so there we go. We made it -1. That's so
Perfect.
good. Oh, brilliant.
That was close.
That's totally legit.
Yeah, I was like, Wayne, I was like, do I need this card? No, just commit it. You need to be at least 1 up.
That was great. That really worked out. So there we go. We got all the clues, and we get a victory point, and the crowd goes wild. Which is great. Yes. And so there we go. So we are here in the cellar. You've got your pet ravenous ghoul with you. I've got a machete in hand. We don't have the obscuring fog anymore. We've already got 1 victory point, so we can look to head up to the attic for next time. That is brilliant. That's so good. I was so impressed seeing how it worked, that influencer class. That's really, really... Because I was a bit worried, would we actually see, the actions happening?
Yeah.
Would the gathering provide that? I have no doubt the Midnight Masks will, but I was wondering, would the gathering, and it certainly has. And that was
Midnight
brilliant
Masks
to
will be
see.
crazy because there's so many cultists that you can just persuade and drag around with you. This is a nice low-key one, though.
Yeah. So you could literally have 3 or 4 cultists all fighting for you in the Midnight Masks. Is that right? Anyway, we'll
kind
get to
of.
that.
You only have 1 follower slot, so if I wanted to charm another enemy, they would conflict. But
right.
with the VP we're getting out of this, I'm going to buy a permanent that will expand my slots a little bit.
Okay, cool. Of course. Yep. Great. Okay. That was it. The investigation phase. Enemy phase.
He doesn't attack.
No. Upkeep.
Round ends. He loses that.
Yep.
Leverage.
Great. And here we go. First Doom is down for the Mythos phase. Oh.
So, yeah, I'm going to cancel that one.
Yeah.
Discard it, search the top 12 cards for a humanoid enemy and draw it. Okay. So let's see who we can get. Look at top. So I like victory points quite a bit.
Yes.
So I think I'm actually, if given the opportunity, which is what I see, take control of this guy. I'm going to pull him instead.
Wow, very nice. The Icy Ghoul.
Which adds some pressure, but I think we can handle him.
Oh, I think we can. I think we can deal with him fine. Yeah, brilliant. That's so good. Awesome. Okay, I'll draw my encounter card.
Okay.
Hello.
You might have to take control. Okay, there you go.
Grasping hands. Okay, test 3. I'm a 2. Okay, I mean, I'll fail this. It's not a big deal.
I can give you a card, I think. I'll give you my second city sweep.
Thank you.
To get too low.
3 on 3. Chaos Bag. Elder Sign! Where we go. +1 for each clue on the location, which is 0. But anyway, that was fine. That was good. Thank you.
Perfect.
Great.
You're welcome.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Right. Investigatoring phase. Here we go. All right. You wanna have a go at this Icy Ghoul first, and then I'll...
I think so, yeah. And let's see if I can't take him out. If I can't, then I'm going to have to call him for my bodyguard.
Sure.
Okay, so Ravenous Ghoul, I've been feeding you well. You're on my team now. This guy's not. So I'm going to do a basic attack, and I'm going to command the Ravenous Ghoul to help me fight. So he's going to add his combat value of 3 to my combat of 2. So that puts me at a 5. And if I succeed, he will do his damage to the enemy as well, which is 1 damage. So that'll be a 2 damage hit if I can make this happen.
And can I contribute something? I'm going to throw in a knife for the fight.
So 3 up.
Yes.
Perfect.
Look at that. Great.
So the next thing I'm going to do is exhaust Igor and spend a resource.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to allow me to ready a follower under my control. So let's ready him. And then we'll go ahead and fight again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be 2 up. I don't have any other boosters, so let's
Here you go, I'll throw in another knife.
Just chucking knives at him. Number ghoul enemies at your location. Okay, yeah, good thing you did that. We got him. That's -2. But we got the VP.
Yay! Crag goes wild. Here we go.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
And I got 1 action left, so I'm just going to hop up to the hallway.
Yes, I can see why starting with a lot of resources really makes a lot of sense, because without that, it would make it a very, very difficult for the system to work, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like, Charlie's been useful to just use him as a design element because he has all that money. It lets me design, because like I know it's going to add a lot more pressure on other investigators or other influencers. Like I have a couple ideas for some other ones, but yeah, that resource economy thing is going to be a huge hurdle for them. So it presents an interesting challenge, but it is nice having Charlie. It makes it smoother.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to move up to the hallway as well.
Gotcha.
What I might do is I'm going to draw a card. It's taking horror, isn't it, going up to the...
Believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I might draw another card. Here we go. 2 emergency caches, really. Oh, well, I guess that's good, because physical training will mean I can... Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Okay, well, we'll move into the enemy phase. That's all good. So upkeep, everything readies.
Okay. That.
And you have to spend a resource, right, to keep the...
I do, yes, thank you. So yeah, I have to spend a resource. Otherwise, he would disengage, which isn't like the worst thing in the world.
No. But yeah, I like having him around.
I kind of do, yeah. We're kind of becoming good friends.
Yeah, he's a bit of a funster.
So. Yeah, because like, if worst comes to worst, I can help him. He can help us fight the ghoul priest. I know it's like a long way away, but at the same time, like I don't want to use a VP enemy to do that because I want the VP out of him. So
yeah,
we'll just hold on to the ghoul.
Yep. All right, 2 doom down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. Oh,
make that 3 doom.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe the ghoul priest will be with us quicker than we think. And I get
The classic.
Crypt Chill, test 4. I'm a 3, but I've got a gut, so I can make that a 5.
I think, yeah. I only got 1 card to command. I think I'll keep it.
Nah,
this time,
that's all right. Oh, actually, I can spend a resource. I can spend my way out of it as well. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 versus 3, 4. I'll make it a 7. 7 versus 4. Actually, there's a -4 in there, isn't there? I think there is. 8 -4. So I'm going to just, Perfect. And I get a skull, so no problem. Gone. I get a card. Okay, cool. All right. Investigation phase.
Yeah, this is going pretty well.
It is going really well, actually. Yeah, we're already up to, we've got a couple of victory points, and there's a bit of time on the doom clock. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to get these other ones, and then we can take on the ghoul priest. Things are going well.
Yeah, I think I can probably nab some of those clues up in the attic. Should I go ahead and go first?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna flip this and run up to the attic, and I take a horror, which Igor will take for us. He's not used to being outside of his comfort zone. Oops. I'll do.
It's the amateur haberdashery and redecoration and the color of the paint pots that's really upset him.
Oh. Yes.
And the amateur butchery probably doesn't help either.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So if I use the Ravenous Skull, I'll be a 4, which is pretty much enough.
Yeah.
5. Yeah, so I think let's go ahead and do that. Let's exhaust the Ravenous Skull. We'll investigate. I'm going to commit this public speaking to get an extra intellect. So that puts me at 3 or 5. So 5 to 1.
Yeah, easy.
That would be 2 clues because he was helping us. Oh man, this is pretty abusive turn. Look at this. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to exhaust Igor to pop him up, spend that resource. And I'm going to commit the monocle this time. Oops, don't know why it has that.
Oh, it does that in Octagon. It just automatically adds the...
well, I mean, it doesn't have...
Probably for whatever the card was before. Yeah.
-4. Oh, okay, wait. Let me just make sure I did that. I had 3, 4, 5. -4 is still 1, so I still got it.
Yep.
That's close.
Awesome. Look at that. Wow.
Man, that ghoul, he's good at searching. He just hunts down those clues.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Okay. That's another... Crag goes wild with another victory point. Wow. Brilliant. I get the feeling the Midnight Mass might be a bit more challenging than this.
I agree. I'm also wondering if, like, I maybe need to put a limit on that. That was a lot. But, I don't know. It's hard to say. He's got his 3 intellects.
But you've got your engine set up.
Pretty
You've
much.
got your engine with Igor and the Ravenous Ghoul. So, that allows you to kind of, exhaust, spend, and reset.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not that different to... I'm playing Amanda Sharp in a campaign.
Oh, yeah. She's fun.
And I've got upgraded deduction. And if I put that under Amanda Sharp, she literally gets... She can get 9 clues in one go, in one turn. Yeah. It's just insane number of clues. Even with basic deduction, you're getting 6 clues.
You could throw like
so,
a quick thinking.
It's not unheard of,
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you still got a turn to just hang out. You feel like
I'm just going to say, not much for me to do. I'm going to play an emergency cash, give myself some cash.
Smart.
So I'm now much more... and the other thing I'm going to do, because sometimes you can end up with multiple... is I'm going to spend 4. Bring out 45.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to spend another emergency cash. Give myself some more cash.
Just gearing up for a fight.
Should be well placed. Yeah, well placed for the Ghoul Priest. He ain't got a chance here. Okay, that's my three goes.
Yes.
Roland's like, you okay? Okay, up there, Charlie. Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, the ghouls got this covered. What else you find in there? There's more meat in it for you if you do. Keep bribing this ghoul.
Okay, well, we'll move into enemy phase. No enemies. Move into upkeep.
I'm gonna spend that resource to keep bribing his skull around. He's just killing it. Oof.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Things.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen in the Midnight Mass? I'll just have to make sure I give myself some allies or some other ways to kind of shore up my mental health.
Looks like I got some rats.
Yes. Yep. And did I forward? I don't think I put it into the Mythos phase. I'll just... Yeah, there we go. Well, 4 of 7. So yeah, I think time is marching on, eh? And I get Crypt Chill again. Okay, so we are a 3 versus a 4. I can make that a a 4 versus a 4, 5 versus a 4, 6 versus a 4. I'm going to go 2 up.
Gotcha.
Elder sign. Yeah. Go. No worries. Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right. Investigation phase.
Okay. So, what are you feeling for this turn? I'm going to have to kill these rats and come down and join you. I think that'll be the extent of what I'm doing.
Are you? Yeah. Yes. And then I'm just trying to think. We trigger the Ghoul Priest not during it's at the end of the phase, right? So I don't see why we can't do that if we're all in the hallway.
Yeah.
Unless you need me to come up, kill the rats, come back down. I can do that as well.
I'll go ahead and... Yeah, I'll see if I can just kill the rats. That should be pretty easy. We've got a combat of 2 plus 3, but it's a 5 to 1 for 2 damage.
Okay.
So
right.
Yeah, easy.
Easy.
The Rounders Gold just eats them up. It doesn't count as leverage, even though you could argue that I provided that for him, but, we won't get into it. And then my final action, I'm just going to draw a card really quick, hoping to get something to help me fight the Ghoul Priest. I know because I can attack with a 5, but I don't know that that's quite enough for the Ghoul Priest because he's got a 4 and he's got 10 health. So his health pool is going to be his saving grace.
Yeah. Can you influence the Ghoul Priest?
I can. That is an option. So what I could do is I could influence the Ghoul Priest and have him kill his minions, sort of persuade him to do a one-on-one fight, him instead of coming in with all his buddies. At which time, though, the thing is we would want to defeat him for the victory points, and if he's in my following and we attack him, then he'll exit the following. So.
Yeah. The other thing is, of course, influence him, go into the parlor, get Leader Chandler.
Yes, I could do that for sure.
As well. And then you've got extra damage and fight, right?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, maybe I've got everything I need. So, yeah, I'm down. I'm ready when you are.
I was just going to ask, did you pay for the Ravenous Ghoul resource-wise?
I did, but that's something I notoriously forget.
Yeah, I would. I constantly would. Anyway. Okay. So basically now we're just waiting for the Ghoul Priest to rock up, aren't we? So I've got 3 actions. I've only got 2 cards in my hand. So I'm going to draw a card. Vicious Blow. Perfect. Nice. Draw another card. Guts. And then for my final action, I'll take a resource. I never like to draw on my final.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So we move into enemies. No enemies to worry about. Then we get to the upkeep phase.
Spend that resource to pay for the ghoul.
Yep. And then this is where we throw in the clues, right?
Yeah.
When the round ends. Yep. Okay, let's throw them in. Cool. Using the barrel from the attic, you carry ice and snow from the cellar, hurl it at the barrier. The barrier sparks and shudders, consumes the ice, hisses and fades out of existence. The barrier blocking the passage into the parlor has vanished. Reveal the parlor.
I'm going to throw my cigar at that thing and light that barrel.
Yeah. Leader Chandler is there. And the Ghoul Priest is in the hallway. Do you want him? Who's he going to engage with? I think
probably. Well, let's see. If you want, I can take him and try to do an evasion first, or some kind of distraction tactic, and then I could go get Lita. But that will slow me down a bit. So it's kind of.
Well, why don't I just take him? Why don't I just engage him?
Actually, no. I got a card. Give him to me. I think I can evade him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Awesome. Okay, so what have you done? A woman with a torch stands in your parlour, a glimmer of hatred in her eyes. What have you done to my barrier? I realise that this is all set in New England. I don't know why I'm using weird English accents and things, but anyway. What have you done to my barrier? She screams furious. Before you can answer, a ghastly wail sounds behind you, and a creature wearing robes and a deer skull mask tears through the wall, advancing towards you. It's very Vincent Price-like. If the Ghoul Priest is defeated, advance.
Nice.
Okay. So, all right. We've got the Mythos phase, so we're down to. Oh, there's only a couple of turns left. So, is there an X? Is there an Agenda 3? There is, isn't there? Of course, there is. Yeah. Oh, we get some rats.
Oops, actually, I'll put them here. Okay. Not to worry. I think I can manage that.
Oh, frozen in fear. What? No.
Pressure is on.
Oh, boy. What a time. Anyway, to get frozen in fear. Now you're afraid?
Nice.
Come on, Roland.
Well, he's the Ghoul Priest. I mean, that's fair.
Okay.
So, I think here's the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to evade the Ghoul Priest, and then I'm going to move to get Lita. And when the swarm of rats, they will attack me with an attack of opportunity before I actually carry out the action, right? You get attack of opportunity first, which means I can exhaust the play dead. So then I'll drop the rats on your location, but you should be able to handle them.
Sure. I think so,
okay.
Yes.
So let's try that then. So in order to exhaust the Ghoul Priest, he's a 4. We're a 2 plus 3, so that's gives us to a 5. And I'm going to commit this clever disguise to go 6 to 4. We'll make it 7 to 4 with a fine line, which is going to allow me to edit my skill value.
Yep.
Okay. This is number of ghouls at your location. There's 2 because the Ravenous Ghoul does count for that. So I was, let me see, 5, 6, 7?
7. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to gain a resource to get -1 skill value from a fine line, which will put me even, so it's still going to work. And Ghoul Priest is exhausted.
Great. Fantastic.
Do you want to take control of them, or?
Yep. There we go.
Okay, so that buys you some time. So now I'm going to move, take the attack of opportunity, take a damage. I'm going to have to take that myself. We'll exhaust play dead. So put the rats here.
Yep.
Actually, then
so I'm engaged with the rats.
Engage you, because they thought I was dead.
Yep, that's fine. Yep.
And then I've got 1 action left. Let's see if we can't parley with Lita Chandler. So let's see.
Oh, you must be able to influence Lita Chandler. Sure.
Yeah, I would hope so. It's a.
You'd hope so. That's the whole.
That's the whole purpose.
That's the whole thing, isn't it? Test of the influencer class.
Right. So this says an intellect test of 4, but if you're playing influencers, any parlay test is going to test your influence stat instead. So it's actually testing influence test of 4. We've got 5, 6 by default. And commit, make it 7. Actually, no. I'll just go 6 to 4. Yeah. -2. Oh, that was enough. Okay, so I got Lita, but that means poor old Igor has to go.
Roland was shouting to Charlie into the parlor, Don't use the red meat to try and influence her. That's not going to work.
Yeah, probably not.
Don't throw her a lump of red meat. That's not going to work.
Yeah, perhaps not.
Tell her hair looks nice.
Yeah.
Tell her that color really suits her.
Yeah, I don't know what I would say to Lita because she's all intense. Maybe I'll just say like something about, I mean, I've got a ghoul under my control, so clearly they can be influenced. Maybe she buys that.
That actually would. Yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm the king of the ghouls, Charlie Kane. Look, look at my ghoul minion. Follow me.
Yeah, not the ghoul priest. He's old and busted. You gotta follow him. Follow Charlie Kane.
Certainly better than the sexist rhetoric that Roller was just throwing out. Tell her her hair looks nice. Tell her it looks good as that. Tell her she's looking lovely today.
That wasn't that bad, but it did seem like Roland's approach.
Yeah.
All right, Roland, go for it.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. Okay. All right. So I've got 3 actions. First action, I'm going to kill this swarm of rats. I'll machete them. So that's 5 on a 1. Chaos bags are -4. Wow. Okay. Well, it just hit. Is that right? 4, 5. Yeah. 5 -4, 1. Yep. So they're gone.
Rats.
First action.
Those are some intense rats, man.
Yes, that's right. Second action, I could just have a free hit at this ghoul priest. Might as well. Shall I machete? It doesn't actually matter. I can.
Well, the machete won't give you the boost because he's not engaged with you, right?
So I'll shoot him. So I shoot him with the 45. And that's my go because I'm frozen in fear, so I only get two fight. So that's a 4. That's a 5. 7. 8 with vicious blow, right? 8 versus 4. Chaos bag is a -1, so we do 3 points. There we go, and I draw a card. Great. Okay. And then I get to test this end of your turn, test 3. So I'm a 3. I've got a guts, so that's a 5. So I'm a 5 on a 3. I can make that a 6 on a 3. I'm going to make that a 7 on a 3. I don't want to keep this, so 7 on a 3. Chaos bag is a 0, so yep. No longer frozen in fear. And draw a card.
I'm on the ropes now.
Great. Yep. Awesome. Okay, things are looking good. Things are looking good. So, enemy phase, nothing happens.
Some resource to keep the ravenous ghoul around. I still want his help. Oh, I just got my weakness. Discard all but 1 card from my hands. Okay. These will go. I'll just keep that one, I guess. It wasn't the worst time to get hit by that. I'll take it.
No, you're set up pretty well. So, yep. So we'll move into Mythos phase. So there's 6 Doom. This is the before it flips.
I don't know why I'm in the lead. Charlie's like, I got everybody under my control.
Oh. It's all happening. It's all happening. Frozen in fear, ancient evils. So that means it flips.
The gathering is really well designed in terms of the agenda. It's probably my favorite part about it because it's like it adds that pressure every time I play it. And like the part where when I think I'm on top of it, it's like, oh shoot, man.
Yeah. Feral beasts, roughly humanoid with a canine cast and hooves for feet, tears through the ground in front of you. Below the floor, you see vast tunnels beneath your house. Fiendish howling echoes from deep within the underground caverns. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Okay, we'll just do that. So all those ancient evils get shuffled back in. Yep. And discard the cards from the top until a ghoul enemy is discarded. Lead investigator draws that enemy, which is you, I guess. Ooh, okay. So that's all right. Let's see who we get. Nope. Nope. Oh, we get the Flesh Eater in the attic.
Yeah!
There we go. Okay.
So I would draw that enemy. Oh, but he still goes up there. Yeah. Okay.
And they're discard cards. Yeah. Okay. They're getting out. You hear a crazy howl outside, and suddenly all the creatures turn their attention to that sound. They rush to escape the house, breaking down doors and clawing at everything in their way. It's like a Macy's sale or something. At the end of the enemy phase, each unengaged ghoul enemy moves one location towards a parlor. At the end of the round, place one doom on this agenda for each ghoul enemy in the hallway or parlor. All right. Cool. Okay. All right. Yeah. That was my encounter card, so I guess we're in the investigation phase.
All right. Well, I think my turn's going to be real easy. I'm just going to jump in, and I think I should go first so that way you can use Lita's ability while I'm here with you to help you fight the Gold Priest. It's 2 actions for that, and then do you want me to try to... Well, I can't evade him. I'd have to engage him first.
The other way would be for you to pop up to the attic, because if we want to get that victory point...
Oh, we do. Yes, we do indeed. Maybe I just do that instead. Do you think? Will you be okay to fend for yourself?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty right with the Ghoul Priest. So,
all right. Okay. Pop up there. Come here, friend. And then end of my turn. Frozen in Fear. Willpower test of 3. I have 3. Public speaking doesn't help me here. Let's just commit this. Let's see if we can get rid of it.
Oh nope, dear.
Not gonna.
Okay, that's all right.
Not gonna pass. Yep.
Okay. All right, so I'll just go ahead and just, because it's 10 damage, isn't it, for the Ghoul Priest? Yep. I'll just start laying into him.
All right.
So if I'm using my machete, I might as well. I'm using 5. So 5 on a 4. I can make that a 7 on a 4. Make it an 8 on a 4. Yep. So he takes 2 points. So he's halfway there. We'll do it again. So that's 5 on a 4, 6 on a 4, 7 on a 4, 8 on a 4 again. Yep, takes 2 more. And we will go again. This time it's 5, 7, so I'm going to spend all my resources. So 7 on a 4. Yep. So he's down to 9
rolling,
damage.
Man.
Yeah.
Nobody messes with rolling.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, enemy phase. Now I take 2 of each. That's fine.
And I'm going to take damage and 2 horror, I think.
Yeah.
We'll do that for us.
Okay. Upkeep. Overpower. Nice. Okay. Cool. So here we go. Get into the... actually, we should have, at the end of the round, 1 Doom should have gone on for the Ghoul Priest. So it's 2 Doom, actually, there.
The Flesh Eater doesn't count for that, though, because
right.
Like, he won't move because he's engaged with me, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. Counter deck time. Whoa!
I'm just going to take this one straight up. I don't care about public speaking at this point.
Yep.
There is a ghoul. Okay, so I'm going to take another damage. Okay, Lita, you just be my shield for me. And then I'll discard public speaking.
Yep. And
okay. Oh, sheesh.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I mean, it all finishes once the Ghoul Priest dies. It's game over. I just can't use my machete, but I've got my 45, so it's no big deal. Okay.
All right. Well, I think I'll try to get that Flesh Eater first. Maybe we'll score a couple of points. I don't have Igor. I forgot about that. Oh no.
Oh boy.
That here, this might be a little more complicated. Yeah, Lita's maybe not as helpful. All right, we're gonna have to try anyways. Yep. 4, 3, 4, 5, 5 to 4. No, wait a minute. This is actually a lot tougher than I thought it would be. Okay, I'm going to. Yeah, I need like a weapon or something. I'm gonna have to draw a card. Stat's just too low for this guy. It's that attack of opportunity. I will take the damage and 2 horror. And then disengage from this guy with play dead. I'm going to make him think I've just died. I think I'm just going to draw a couple more... Draw a couple more cards. I've got to get a better handle on this situation. Oof. Yeah, influencers are not necessarily fighters. They use their allies for that. It's almost like I could kill them if I had the ghoul priest, but...
Well, we might have to let that victory point go, I'm afraid.
No! Alright, let me test the willpower one. I got nothing to boost. Frozen in Fear hangs around for another round.
Alright, so... I can't evade because I'm only a 2 versus his 4. So really all I can do is kill him.
I mean, I guess you could... He doesn't have alerts, so you could just waste your actions evading.
Yeah.
Just take the hit, but that would be a lot. I mean, definitely shoot the minion. Because he's just
You're right. Why don't I do that? And then, I mean, I can take another... Yeah, I can take another 2 and 2, but then, yeah. So, because he doesn't have retaliate. Oh, he does have retaliate. Okay, all right.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, you can't. You would die. Because look, the flesh eater. I'm playing dead. So if when the enemy phase occurs, it's to the end of the round. Yeah. So that means he will move because he won't be engaged. He thinks
and I'll take 4. Whoa, yes, you're right. Good point. Oops.
Okay, get out of there. Just take
Sorry,
him down.
I think we're going to have to let that victory point go. We tried. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm going to obviously shoot him because we can't use the machete really. Oh, I don't want to use the machete when there's 2 of them. So again, we are at 4, 5, 7. Make that an 8. 8 versus 4. Chaos Bag gives us a 0. He's dead.
Hey.
He dies.
Crowd goes wild.
Yes. So there we go. So, there we go. When the rogue creature falls, the fiendish swarm burrows back into the ground and the chaos in the house quiets, but the stranger in your parlour doesn't seem relieved. You broke my seal that was set to trap the ghouls within. She raises her torch. Now we must take more direct measures and burn this hell pit to the ground. So lead investigator must decide, okay, Charlie, you've invested all this money. Are we going to burn it down? Or is this hell pit your home?
Yeah, I think he's invested way too much, so it's all home.
Fair enough.
I live here now.
Fair enough.
With Ravenous Ghoul, who needs a name at some point because he's my friend.
Yeah. He's your bro, man. I can just see him in a backwards kind of baseball cap and sort of, chains and kind of shirt, and baggy pants, and he's just hanging with you there. He's your bro. So there we go.
Yeah, we're friends.
So that was there we go. Turn 10, and we ended up with a whole swag of. So we got 1. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll end up with 7 victory points and a leader chandelier. So that was great. That went really, really well.
Yeah. We killed it.
Yeah. I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome how it showcased how the influencer worked. And it really... so one of the things I wondered about was, even at the beginning, would the influencer class, as Charlie represents that, sort of play, you know, because each class sort of has a feel about how it plays. You know, whether you're playing a sort of a rogue or a guardian or a seeker, there's a sort of a style, and I didn't sort of feel like the influencer class felt the style was different. It was a different kind of rhythm and style, I think, to the other classes. So I think, you know, hats off to you that it really does feel like a very different way to play the game.
Thanks. Yeah, it is kind of trippy. I think there's like moments where I'm playing and I'm like, oh, this feels pretty straightforward. But then I love all the interactions with the enemies. It just makes them so much more interesting because like the last one, I was like, shoot, I shouldn't have played dead. Now that I'm pretending, and it's like, oh yeah, it's like now it creates like more problems because they take on enemies, and rather than get rid of them like most guardians usually do, they're just like holding onto them and they want them populated on the board because they're valuable. But then it's like ratcheting up the doom, ratcheting up the damage, and it's like, whoa. So that can make it fun where it gets to be like you're really pushing the edge of the wire there.
Yeah, and there's this sort of this thing about, you know, like there's always been in Arkham Horror this disengagement piece where you can evade enemies and they're sort of exhausted. But there's this thing with Charlie where he's bringing them on board or he's releasing them back onto the game board or bringing them to himself. You know, there's sort of more of a back and forth thing going on, which was really, really interesting. So, yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where, like, if they made the kind of mechanic, I don't know if it would fit in any of the classes. Like, you could give it to a guardian, so to speak, because enemy management falls into that umbrella. But it just has lots of finicky parts to it, and they really become versatile. Like, you know, Ravenous Ghoul, man, is it getting clues, eating rats for us? Like, he can do it all. But you've got to pay for him. You've got to make sure he's satisfied. And like if I had stayed in that hallway, we would have gotten more doom. So it's like you're sort of edging on the risk. This is a bit like I like how it's like an amalgamation, because that's like a bit like a rogue. It's like if you're holding on to like something dangerous, right? You're making it harder on everyone else. But at the same time, it's like a guardian because, you know, you're dealing with enemies. But on the other hand, it's like you're getting those clues really quickly, or you're talking to people very easily. So then it's like a seeker. So you're kind of a mix of a number of different things. I'm real happy with how it came out for multiplayer. I think it held up pretty well.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was brilliant. So, so next time we'll move forward campaign style and upgrade our decks and tackle the Midnight Masks, which will be interesting how that goes, because that's obviously a bit more challenging than the Gathering. We'll see how things go then. So thanks again, LaRoix. It was really, really fantastic accompanying Charlie along in the Gathering and seeing how things went. I really, really, really enjoyed it.
Well, thanks for having me. This was a blast. I had a great time.
Yeah, it was really great. So, and thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Very interested to hear your thoughts. And yes, next time, LaRoix and I will be shepherding Roland and Charlie through the Midnight Masks. But until then, I'm CrabbyTerror8.
And I'm LaRoix.
And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.